Hey guys, how you doing? I'm not being sponsored by McDonald's, but I drink their coffee because it's actually not bad. So I've been in the software development game professionally since 1994. And I think the most important lesson I learned as a professional developer, as somebody who's made money building applications for other people and building the changes in the technology. That is the name of the game. So I remember when React came out, I'm going to fast forward like 20 years. I remember when React came out and the new people started getting into it because there was wide adoption. And the old jQuery people and the people who were doing vanilla JavaScript, there were probably resistance to it. And the React people would go, oh my God, you guys are so old school. You got to get with the times. So now we see the next evolution right now. I'm recording this late November 2025. The current thing, of course, is AI. Now, AI is not replacing React. It's not replacing JavaScript. It's not replacing C#. It's not replacing Java. It's not replacing PHP. It's probably going to replace Ruby. It's not replacing anything. It's just augmenting the process. It's just changing the game. I keep beating this dead horse because, well, a couple of things. A, I want to help people out. I want people to learn from my experience, to learn what took me decades to learn. You can learn it from me just by watching my videos. So the lesson to learn from this video, and you can go do something else now after you watch this. The lesson to learn from this video is that you have to embrace change. The software developers who embrace the new technologies are the ones who are going to have a huge advantage. You're already seeing this in the AI space. Just developers who implement AI are getting ahead. Now, AI, though, is not a panacea. It is not a replacement. It is not the doom of development. It is just the next evolution in development. It is the next tool set. So back in 1994, when I first started writing code, the very first programming language, I guess you could call it we generally call it a programming language. In the day, it was considered a scripting language. And this is something called Perl. So Perl, it's still used today. It's kind of a glue language used on the server. It rose to prominence because they implemented regex into it. Now regex has now been adopted by many, many other programming languages. It's not all of the modern languages. But anyway, so Perl was the first language I learned to write my first very programming code. And of course, I did what everybody did that back in 1994. And I created a guest book page on my website. So somebody would come to your site and you would have a little form and it would be sign my guest book. And they would just put in their name and hit enter. And the Perl CGI script would write a text file or write to the text file, the name of the person and then display it. That was the extent of it. And back then, if you did that, you were pretty much a master of software development. Everything is relative, by the way, right? If you're 6 foot and all the other players in the basketball team are 3 feet, you win. So quickly, over the next few years from 94 and going forward, Perl CGI became the default method of building web apps. And a lot of complex web apps were built on top of Perl CGI, despite all of its weaknesses. But then new technologies came out, competing technologies, including PHP, and then eventually Java, and eventually years later C#, et cetera, and so on. Python was ported to the server so that you could start doing web apps with Python, Ruby. Anyway, new technologies came about. And competing technologies. Initially, though, they worked in the same way where there was, they would mix the Vue code with the logic code. It was all intermixed and it was a big mess. Later on, Microsoft doesn't get enough credit for innovation in the web stack. They came up with inner HTML, which is crucial for web apps. And they also came out with the page-based paradigm, ASP. Active server pages. And then Java went from a kind of a Perl CGI type of way of doing things with servlets. They went into JSP. They went from Model 1 to Model 2 development. If all this stuff is gibberish, don't worry about it. It's not really important. The point that you want to take away from this video is that technology changes, development changes. What we used to spend weeks doing in the early 90s, now we spend minutes doing today, and I'm glad for it. That's why if you look at web apps back in the 90s, they were far less sophisticated in many respects, far less beautiful, especially in terms of the client, than they are today, simply because the technology has evolved. Things that used to take, again, weeks to do, we can now do in minutes. And I'm thankful for that. So I see with the AI coming in, it's speeding up traditional development, but it's actually opening up a whole new venue, if you will, a whole new vertical, a whole new set of things we can do that we couldn't do before. So I did that with my Brad Fitness Coach. It's an AI-first application. It does things that I would not be able to do otherwise. So that's included in my Fit Over 50 program. To conclude, you want to embrace changes in technology. You want to embrace these changes because the changes mean more productivity, which opens up eventually more jobs, and a lot more millionaires and billionaires start forming out of that. My name is Steph. Some people call me Uncle Steph. I teach people, well, I share my decades of experience as a software developer, tech entrepreneur. I'm one of the OG digital nomads. So on this channel and in my programs, I share my decades of knowledge with you guys, so you don't have to waste your time. If you want to learn how to code, I teach 3 programming languages plus CSS and JavaScript, CSS and HTML. So HTML, CSS, JavaScript, programming language number 1. Python, programming language number 2. PHP, programming language number 3. I also teach SQL, the basics as well, and much, much more. Soft skills, project management skills, how to freelance, how to integrate AI into your applications. I just put out a brand new module in the Studio Web package. You could check out links below at unclesteph.com. I have introduced it at an amazing new price, best price I've ever offered it at. Usually up until, well, in the last 5 years, it's been around, it would cost you minimum $700 a year. Now I have an option where you can get in for less than $250 a year. And you can sign up for just 1 year. And you have access to the entire interactive curriculum. So it's not just a set of courses, it's not just a set of videos. It's true interactivity, quizzing, instant help, instant responses. It grades you, you get certifications, et cetera, and so forth. It's all there, plus access to hundreds of hours of the coaching sessions. I've recorded these over the last several years. Much to learn from just watching the coaching sessions. Coaching sessions, we had between 10 people, sometimes 15 people. People ask questions of me. I answer them about coding, about freelancing, getting jobs. It's all there for you. I think, personally, although I'm biased, it's the best opportunity on the web. All right, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.